Hi, welcome to Peiwen's Note. Today, we have 4 excellent musicians. They came all the way from Germany. They are the Philharmonia Quartet Berlin. Hi, gentlemen. Welcome to Taiwan. How many times you've been in Taiwan?
For me personally, I think it's 4th time.
4th time?
Yeah. But first time with the quartet. We have never been with
the first with the quartet, yeah. The orchestra.
The other times were with the orchestra.
Right, I just hear a beautiful, brilliant performance in November.
Yeah, it's not long.
2 concerts under the baton of Sir Simon Rattle.
Yeah, it was good. It was fantastic.
Yes. Could you tell us about the program you were performing tonight, which is all Beethoven Quartet?
Yeah, Beethoven is for me the best composer for string quartets, musician, absolutely the highlight. And we played just the first one, the last one, and one from middle time. It's just whole Beethoven. It's not possible to play whole Beethoven. But we finished 1 month ago every whole Beethoven quartets to record.
Oh, you record a whole complete set of a Beethoven string quartet?
String quartet, it's fantastic. It's just a live work of our quartets.
So it's released on the market, we could go buy it?
Yeah, we started this 20 years ago, and it's finished right now, so you can see how much it is and how much work it is. And one note about the program, we found out only yesterday that every piece of this evening is in F major, F minor, F major.
I saw that. I was studying your program last night. Everything has to do with F, the key.
Yeah, we didn't look for that.
It's just by coincidence. And you, something to say about tonight's program?
Yeah, I think all Beethoven program is just, it's nice to play this. And of course, then from 3 different periods. So we start with one, maybe it's more of the middle period, maybe more of the late period. I think it's more of the late period, Opus 95. And this is very nice to start with because the audience is just thrown into the music. And then the last one and one of the first. So it's good like this, I think. I hope so. Yeah.
Yes, I'm always happy to have a program only with Beethoven because it's the absolute highlight for me. And Beethoven is a giant, and
absolutely,
it's my favorite music.
Your favorite composer? And Menuhin once said, what a beautiful sound that Philharmonia Quartet Berlin produced, that he wished that every day the sound that he hear is your beautiful quartet sound.
This was many years ago that Menuhin wrote this in our parts, but we hope the sound even improves since that date.
we work on for 20 or 30 years. That's still we're working on the sound. It's the most important thing, I think, in string quartet playing is the sound. Not only to play right notes to right time, just the sound is making the music expression.
And maybe the most important thing about the sound is what you can't do actively. It has to come by itself, by the many years you play together. If you take perfect young musicians, put them together, they can play wonderful, but it takes many years for them to find some sub-brain level, or I don't know how to describe that, that the feeling of playing together and producing the sound must get down from your brain. You can't think of it, it must be in another part of your body, maybe here or even lower, I don't know where. So, and this takes time. And you can also see it with other quartets. If they play for a really long time, this is a certain kind of blend in the sound which you can't really produce if you want it. It has to come by itself.
every string quartet have their own personality.
Yes, I think so.
So mentally, spatially, and they had to kind of match, so the tone will be together.
Yeah, yeah.
Then, so you met since 1984 and started playing in 1985, and that's good 30 years.
It
What do you have to
is.
say about
It's
it?
a long time, sure. And I came as a first one in the quartet. There was no guys from here. And then after that,
You started in 80 about?
84. I
84?
mean, 84. I still wasn't concertmeister still. Also 84.
And
Then
our first performance was in February 85.
85. But before come,
So I came second, and Christian
You're
came in
second?
86.
Right.
But
we
this
have
happened all very, very early,
So
the
this
early
was
days
early.
of the quartet. There was a lot of changing and finding together. And
You've been a viola principal
I
for
was
30
viola-
years, right?
I was viola principal
me about
since 2 years ago. No. I just had the idea there are very good young musicians, and I want to experience the sound of the orchestra not from the first desk, but more from little distance to the conductor, to everybody. So, and it's good. It's a good experience.
yeah, being close to the conductor has advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
So if you,
That's right.
you have to decide.
What's the advantage?
But you know, in our orchestra, everybody is a soloist.
Exactly. To be
and sometimes not at the right time.
So what's the disadvantage sitting so close to maestro?
Yeah, you always have to react to what the conductor is showing and wanting from you. And there are conductors which you don't agree musically. And of course you are the closest. And if the conductor asks the whole group or the whole orchestra, he turns to you and say, please play this faster. You think in your inner, no, it's fast enough, but you can't say it. And
You can play faster or
play
slower.
faster or not, yeah.
And the conductor have to conduct with us. That's
Yeah,
a big advantage.
Yeah, but this is more the disadvantage. But the advantage, of course, is you are close. You are part of the of the work. You are not just sitting and listening. You can direct and even can bring own ideas. Sometimes that's possible.
Certain maestro will let you express your ideas, while they don't, right?
It depends on the type of the conductor. Some conductors really don't want to hear any opinion from the musicians, but others really ask for them. Yeah, they want to know, and it can be somehow a democratic process, but not really. There is not enough time for real discussions about things. And in the end, the conductor has to say how he wants it, how the tempo should be, and things like that.
He make the decision.
Yeah, but the progress can be interesting, and sometimes we feel it's not only the ideas of the conductor, but also partly of us.
Sure, we don't discuss about ideas of conductors. We just play music. The music is here, not here. So a good conductor, is my experience, just make the moving with us, not against us. When we want to play some phrase slower or make some beautiful things, he make with. And the bad conductor is
Try
not
to force.
Try to force
Yeah.
and with me, please. But what does it mean with him? The music is here in the instrument and in our brains.
Exactly. I work in the orchestra for 15 years. I know exactly what you mean. When we have a wonderful conductor come, the whole week I feel like I'm in heaven. Not to mention the other way around. Well, speaking of a conductor, maestros, you three has been through three big conductors, which is from Karajan, Claudio Abaddo, to Sir Simon Rattle. Would you like to tell me about it? Daniel, start.
Yeah, I came to Berlin when I was still very young. So Herbert von Karajan was for me a legend. So I admired him like a god in the music, that's normal. But now, when I see some film about from Karajan conducting music, I'm still demanding as absolutely the best conductor in my life.
For certain composers, I will totally agree with you.
Yeah.
There's no one better with Strauss and things where the refinement of colors in the orchestra sound are most important. But if I compare, for instance, Mozart operas or Mozart divertimentos, which we recorded with Karajan, this is not the very best for me. But anyway, I felt it like with Daniel. I was young at that time, and Karajan was like a god, and he behaved like a god as well. And it was just great to have some of this time to be part of the last years.
How many years you have with Karajan?
It was just 5 years for me. Maybe not the luckiest one, because in the end there was some struggle between the Karajan and the orchestra.
He was ill.
He was ill, and yeah. But there happened some concerts, I remember, in New York, for instance, with the 9th of Mahler and Strauss Alpensinfonie, where suddenly the glorious times came up for a moment, and this was fantastic for us.
He was conducting till he is 70-some years old, right?
Sorry?
When final day, he was still conducting around 70s. Karajan?
When did he die?
He died 89.
89.
In summer. He was 79.
No, he was over 80. He was over 80. We made a
born?
birthday party in Salzburg when he got 80. Really?
Maybe
Yeah,
he is born in 1909. I'm not sure. I don't know.
We have go to
About.
Salzburg. There's a
He was in the 80s at
Top.
least.
Tell me your experience with the three maestros.
Yeah,
Started with Karajan.
I can only say that's what it was. I mean, I had an experience with my first opera was Don Carlos with Herbert von Karajan in Salzburg. With very good singers. It was overwhelming. I liked it a lot. Also, Fliegender Holländer. He did operas very well. Wagner, but also Italian operas. And the German Romantic. So Richard Strauss, maybe he was very close to the person of Richard Strauss.
I think so.
He felt like himself in the hero's life. The end of the piece, he was crying. He felt like Richard Strauss, maybe.
They must be friends, right? Strauss and Karajan.
Yeah,
Friends in mind, I think.
at least in mind. Yeah. And I never had such good performances of Richard Strauss. We like with Herbert von Karajan, I think. It was very good, but also Brahms and Beethoven, yes. Beethoven Pastorale was not so.
What was not his favorite?
Was not his favorite.
Yeah, it depends
so
on the character.
Yeah, there were different things. Also, he did Bach Brandenburg concertos.
Which one?
All. We played all of them, and I think from our point of view, this is not the way to play Bach.
You won't
No.
hear it played in that way
Now today,
anymore
but-
nowadays.
Yeah.
But maybe in 50 years you'll have it again.
Maybe.
Things change a lot.
So every conductor has his favorite pieces and pieces not in the same level. With Claudio Abaddo, Il Viaggio Reims.
Reims, yeah.
This was very, very good. But also Otello, and we did Wozzeck, Albanberg, the opera. It was good.
Yeah. This was
Many, many good
favorite
things also. New Vienna School, Albanberg, and
I think Claudio added some Italian flavor to the sound. Yeah, something became more light and more transparent. For certain types of music, this was wonderful. For other music, it adds a new perspective. But maybe for Brahms, you need more the dark and earthy sound, and under Claudio, it transformed a little bit. And with Simon, I think we are much more about articulation and phrasing and how the music speaks. This is one of his great skills to make small articulations and form music more like a speech, which was in Karajan's side. We always tried to get long phrases, long melody, and this was fantastic for the music we mentioned. But for instance, Simon can do very good Haydn symphonies and also these oratoriums, the creation and what's it called, die Jahreszeiten, the seasons, the 4 seasons, but not Vivaldi from Haydn. And there's a lot of expression between speech and music, and that's really what Simon can show perfectly. And so that's his addition to our tradition.
I know, since I came back to Taiwan after study at Juilliard, so that will be after 90. So I only had the privilege and honor to see Sir Simon Rattle. And the performance you guys put together in November was excellent. Mahler 5th, right?
Yeah. And what was it, Bruckner?
Mahler 5th?
No. We played, the one program was with Boulez and Bruckner 7. And the other one was
Schumann.
Yeah, with Schumann, exactly. Schumann and the Prokofiev concerto with Karajan. Yeah.
That was 2 unforgettable nights. Taipei, the audience still thinking of you guys. Now the quartet is back.
And hope the audience will still be crazy.
Yeah, we have to play crazy.
And okay, I read about you have won award more than twice, but at least this is called Echo Classic. They have rewarded you. Would you like to talk about it? Your reward CD?
Quite popular prize in Germany because it's from the TV as well.
It's as big as like a Grammy award here, US.
Comparable maybe, but the Grammy is still better known. But I think we got the Echo Classic, the last one, for our Britain CD. We recorded 2 of the Britain quartets. He did 3 quartets in total, and we did 2 of them. And this is fantastic music. We discovered it when we studied it, so we didn't know before the hidden treasure of this music. And then we finished the recording. Maybe this was part of the award.
Are you the only group have ever recorded Britain?
Britain is no, we are not the only one. But it's not very popular, we have to admit. Even in the concert programs, it's very seldom.
I never heard it in New York. I grew up at Lincoln Center.
I remember a special situation. We played one of the Britain quartets in a museum. This was a happening in whole Berlin. There are many great museums, and we played under very large old paintings in a nice surrounding. It was not a concert hall, obviously, it was just the museum hall, and it was a nice contrast, this Britain music, more modern, and the very old pictures surrounding us. I think it was in a room with Italian Renaissance paintings, so really old ones. And the contrast was nice, and the sound was absolutely okay. And people loved it to be there. I think they were standing, there were no chairs. So this, yeah. And it was something special. And that's what I remember about Britain.
You too? Did you record it? And
We recorded number 2 and 3, and marvelous music. And the other echo was for Shostakovich. I think we played. We made a CD with 3 quartets.
that is extremely difficult.
Number 3, 12, and 7.
I think so.
And we made also a whole. We played all 15 quartets. Meanwhile,
I remember as a student practicing the Shostakovich Quartet, and the intonation is very difficult to attend.
Which quartet did you?
Oh my God, I forgot. But I was at the New York String Orchestra under the baton of Alexander Schneider. So Michael Tree came in, and all the famous trio, all the famous chamber music coach came in. Oh, speaking of Michael Tree, I want to ask you, Neithard, he was your teacher at one point at Curtis. Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, I finished studying in Germany. I studied in Cologne until '77, and then I got a scholarship by the German government to go to the US, and I studied in.
What year was that you went to US?
What year?
In '77, September. I went to Curtis for school year, so until May, and studied with Michael Tree and Karen Tuttle. Yeah, and it was a very, very good experience. I was quite old, was 27. The Curtis musicians, it's from 12 to 20 about, or 22, and I was already 27, but okay.
Did you like
I played in the Curtis Orchestra and string quartet and chamber music and the lessons with Michael Tree. Yes, I liked him a lot.
Thank you so much coming to our show, and good luck with tonight's concerts.
Thank you.
Thank you.